months, we've been playing one duck-based platformer. Why is my mouse cursor freaking out there? Oh dear. Oh no. Hang on. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, that is a seizure. That is a seizure. Hang on. There we go. It's Darkwing Duck on the fucking Game Boy. Oh, there was a point not that long ago where I knew the lyrics to this song as well. What? But yeah, the Game Boy version's easier than the NES one. And I know I did an LP on this, but it's definitely from my my less good period, i.e. shitty mic quality and all that. And there was a point in that LP. I don't know if it was clear or not from the audio. But when I came home that day, because I'd been out, a cat started following me home and came in, and I just let him hang around in my room for a while. Because I was trying to emulate the all the LPs have cats thing, because, copying other people's great. We believe these crimes are the work of that secret criminal organization, Foul, the fiendish organization of world larceny. Hilarious, I'm sure. Yeah, that was a thing, at least for a while. It might have been further back in the day, as it were. But a lot of the more popular LPs had cats, and so they would often have the cats interrupt their recordings. I think people just like cats. Right. Yes. Collect items, get points, kill people. Got it! So we have the kind of the Mega Man thing in Darkwing Duck. You can pick any of the first 3 levels to do. I like to start with the middle one, first of all. Wolf Duck and his henchmen are rampaging through the center of the city. But be careful, Wolf Duck goes berserk when the moon comes out. Fun fact about Wolf Duck, he is an entirely fabricated villain for this game. He was never in the cartoon. Didn't exist. Weird that. I always assumed playing this game that he did exist and I just didn't remember the episodes. But he doesn't. Hooba Garble, I loved this game. And I very much still... Hang on. Hold on a sec. Okay, yeah. The way the music's going on this is it's playing only half of it, and because I only use one earphone for streaming, I can only hear half of it, so it doesn't sound right at all. It kind of ruins everything about it, but it doesn't stop me singing along. Cause it is lodged in my brain, I know it really well, and I will not forget. You will be fired. End of the day today, you will be fired, you will be fired. Out of a cannon and into the sun. Probably one of my favourite improvised songs, just because it's so ridiculous. But then, which of them aren't? The answer is honestly none. Tell me it's not true, you would be very wrong. Plus I'm kind of fucking awesome at this game, because... Okay, more story time. When Malice was a young'un, he had no idea what Mega Man was. He'd never played the Mega Man game in his life. They weren't really... I don't think they were that big a deal over here. So I'd never heard of them, never played them. But I played this. And this basically is Mega Man in a lot of ways. It's very, very similar at least. So I was enjoying Mega Man before I knew what Mega Man was. And that's why I like Mega Man so much. Now. And I'm kind of good at it. It's totally fun. Fare thee well, Trev. I hope you had a fun time this evening, and I hope you will return again on Wednesday for more of the fun that we always have when we are streaming together. Plus, the duck animation, no pun intended, is really smooth in this game. It's got a whole 3 frames to it. That's pretty impressive for the Game Boy. I love to lag the fucking game. It is fun. And you cannot stop me doing it at the slightest opportunity. But yeah, I always thought that was interesting, because it's made by Capcom, and obviously gameplay-wise it's very similar to Mega Man. And I never knew what I was enjoying, I just knew I liked this game. Probably at least partially because A, it was Darkwing Duck and I fucking love that cartoon, and B, it's one of the few games I owned. And I think I was just bought it at random. I didn't ask for it or anything. Because there was a time in my life where the games I got would just be whatever there was that I could think of, or that my parents / relatives would just pick for me. And I'm pretty sure Darkwing Duck on the Game Boy was one of those. I just got it bought for me because it's Darkwing Duck, and they knew I loved that. So there you go, a little bit of a fun backstory there for you. It's totally easy to win. This game is really not hard. Yeah, the Mega Man cartoon is an absolute joke. But for all the right reasons, it's hilarious. Hilariously bad. Speaking of hilariously bad, Malice's performance right now against this boss. Hoobagarb, I am awful. Maybe I should concentrate more on what I'm doing right here. Stop fucking about. I do not want to die. I do not want to be eviscerated. There we go. See, he's pretty easy. Your entire internet is broken. Holy shitballs. That's quite a bad time. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. Aha. So your Mega Man trigger finger is really your Darkwing trigger finger. Absolutely, yeah. This is where I learned the craft, so to speak. Okay, so normally I'll do this level last of these three because it's the easiest one. Or at least it was when I used to play it as a young'un. And, you know, this also established another trait of mine. Whenever you get an optional path through levels, like with Mega Man games, I will often play them in the same order every time. Because I have this established order in my head that's like, this level comes next. If you see what I mean. So yeah, the rationale behind it at the time was I found the sewer level the hardest and the bridge level the easiest. So I wanted to get the sewer one out of the way quickly, but this one first. Also, I missed out on the bonus level in that level because I just completely forgot about it. He's a made-up boss, doesn't really exist so he can't hurt you. Well, he gave it a damn good go. I just got an SOS call from the sewers. Liquidator is on the loose. He was an interesting villain, if a little bit peculiar, and yeah. Basically, he was kind of like the Joker in Waterfall. Because he was a water salesman with some dodgy business practices, until Darkwing accidentally knocked him into radioactive super water, and he became water. And it was weird, but also brilliant. He was a tough one to defeat. I think in the end he encased him in cement or something, made him into a fountain. But that didn't stop him coming back in a later episode. Okay, I know it's possible to get over there. Poop that fucking garb, maybe it isn't. I'm not really sure. I don't know if I can. Maybe I just won't bother. I don't need to go there anyway. Ah, yes. See, the cool thing about this game that I always liked was the cape block, because it gave you a defensive option, which was nice, but it also required you to time your attacks out. So you couldn't just spam the shoot button and be fine all the time. But with enemies like those cloak and dagger guys, you could jump and block and then shoot when they weren't shooting. And it took time to establish that pattern. Or maybe I'm just talking out of my arse, I don't know. Anyway, this is a little bonus area where you can pick up 2 1-ups, but then you pretty much die. It's still a net gain, which is great, but yeah, there you go. I didn't actually get both of them. Fuck it. It's fine, it's totally good. I do not give a flying fuck about your nonsense garbage, fuck you. You think that you can hide behind a cape? That is my gimmick, fuck you. It's a lot harder to do the music thing in this level because it sounds really off beat when it's only half of it. That's another thing this game has going for it, actually. Fantastic music. Which, in the LP, you really don't get an appreciation for because of the aforementioned dodgy sound quality. Poop fucking garble! I'm gonna kill you all. I'm gonna make you suffer. I'm not gonna go there. No, at this time I really don't want to. So these are bats, I think. And you can only see them when you put the lights on. Oh, they're birds. I lied. Quite what there are birds doing in a sewer, I have no idea. But yeah, if you don't shoot them before they come to life and attack you, then they'll probably hit you because it's hard to avoid them flying into you. And you want to shoot this one from right here. Because it's quite hard to jump over that banana skin right there. Because comedy. Alright, so these flashy things give you special gun attacks, kind of like Mega Man weapons. The arrow one I had before creates a platform for you to land on. It's very rarely useful, pretty much only for that one area. The one I've got right now is the Thunder Gas, which is a spread shot, basically. And the other one is called Heavy Gas. It drops a projectile to the ground, which then shoots two smaller bullets along the ground. Also not very useful. The lightning one's the best, and once you pick it up in this level, you pretty much won't replace it for the rest of the game. If you know what you're doing, and you should, because Malice said, Malice told you so. If there is one thing he knows, it is this game. Yes, there's a small collection of about 8 or so Game Boy games that I know really well, because they were the ones I had as a young'un. Fuck. This, of course, being one of those. I don't know what this fucking thing's meant to be, but he only shoots when you do. And he's an annoying prick. I wanna shoot him. I want him to die. Ah, fairly well, Jack Ford. As ever, I thank you for coming to the Malice stream. I hope we will see you again in the future. So yeah, we've also got this ledge grab thing, which is nifty. This game is just cool. There's a lot of good things about it. Dicks. Okay, we're gonna need to fucking wait right here until we can get down here. This part's always a bit tricky. Some very precise jumps required. Because you're meant to grab onto that ring on the wall there, but sometimes it doesn't seem like it. Okay, sometimes it doesn't let you grab it, even though you think you should. It's probably just a very specific hitbox location or something like that. Mario World 2, 6 golden coins, one of them. No, it wasn't. I had the original Mario Land, and I had Wario Land, but not Mario Land 2 until like a couple of years ago now, when I specifically asked for it. Anyway, here's Liquidator. He's really fucking easy. Not that I used to know that. He launches fish at you as projectiles, as you would expect because he's made of water, and they live inside him. That is really weird. They're actually not fish, I don't think. I think they're meant to be just water, but they always look like fish to me. At least the vertical ones did, because they've got the little wiggly tails and they look like they have eyes. So yeah. But the rest of the time, alright, come on, mate. So he's actually in a puddle of water there, is the idea. That's why if you drop down there, you'll stand on the bricks instead. Also, I might die. Oh, that trigger finger, it didn't help. There we go. They don't actually take that many hits to beat, really. Hoop that garb. Good old Wario Land. That game is phenomenally awesome. Still, to this day. I did actually play Wario Land 2 on my own time a little while back. It's a very different game. Anyway, Quackerjack is the boss in this stage. Him and his crazy toy-making shenaniganry. His whole gimmick, of course, being that he made toys, but they were all super deadly dangerous, and so he was kind of, you know, banned from selling them, and he went crazy. I think that's supposed to be the idea. Either that or he's just a lunatic from the beginning. Either way, he wasn't my favourite villain, but he wasn't the worst either, I suppose. My favourite Darkwing Duck villain, if any of you care, is Splatter Phoenix, because holy shit. For a cartoon duck, she was hot as hell. It was probably the goth look, right? Still, I know her power was a cool idea as well. She only showed up in the show twice, though, I think, which was disappointing. But yeah, most of the others were a bit of a joke, but I always liked her. I mean, that's true, in case. Greek mythology is pretty much that. And I studied classical civilizations as well, at one point in my life. I quite enjoyed that. A little bit too much of the old, no, you know what, never mind. It was complicated stuff, but I had a good teacher for it, so that helped a lot. But yeah, I'm just gonna fucking crush this game now, you see. As you can see, this stage is really easy. Doesn't take much thought or skill at all now. Anyone could do it. If you played a Mega Man before, then you could probably beat this game too. It's honestly not that hard at all. A little bit of basic platforming shooting, you can do it. Jump and shoot, man. Transferable skills. Of course I did it in reverse. 'Cause why would I not? 'Cause I'm just weird like that. Oop, that garb. Candlejack from Freakazoid. Is that the one that there's that meme about where people just don't finish sentences and it's meant to be funny? I did like Freakazoid, actually, as cartoons go. Me and my sister used to love the theme song. Anyway, here he is, and that's his weird puppet banana that occasionally talks to him and gets possessed by Satan. In fact, there is an episode of Darkwing Duck where actual Satan is present. Like, his daughter gets hell Satan magic powers. I wish I was making this up, but the answer is no, I am not. Anyway, he doesn't really attack you in any meaningful way. Only the banana does, by dropping what I can only assume are banana peels on your head. Deadly banana peels that rend your skin from its bones. No, I don't understand it either. You've actually watched that show? I'm not judging, I just never have myself, so I don't know what the big deal is. But like, people get, there we go. Nailed it. He is dead. What a jam. I'm confused already. Anyway, that was the first 3 levels of the game. We're fucking motoring through this shit. Just like Darkwing Duck's motorbike. There was a segue that really, really sucked. Okay, so the next set of 3 levels, again, my motivation behind it was usually play the ones I find hardest first, so when they're out of the way, I can do the easy one and be fine. And back then, when I was a young'un, the forest level was the hardest of these 3, so I would always do that one first. Something strange is going on in the woods. It may be the work of Bushroot. Reginald Bushroot, a plant-obsessed scientist whose only goal in life was to improve everyone's existence by making it possible for ducks to absorb sunlight like plants do, and thus feed themselves that way. Unfortunately, his experiment went horribly awry, and he turned himself into a plant. And then he went a bit green-fingered crazy, and then it was hard to take him seriously as a villain. But there you go. Great Satan, holy shit. Ah, fuck! But yeah, this level's tricky because you've got these respawning plant dudes that are very hard to avoid the projectile faces of. Yeah! Because if you shoot them, they launch themselves at you, and then you have to kill what was left behind before it spawned another one. As you can see, not tremendously good at doing that. Losing la chunks of my health. You only get 4 hits and then you are dead. So in that way, this game's a lot harder than Mega Man. Because in Mega Man, you generally get a few more than 4 hits. But in this, forget about it. 3 hits and then 1 or you're dead. Your face will explode into a bloody ruin. Luckily, medkits are a thing, and they give you all your health back. Now this is going to be a problem. Wait till it comes further down, and then see if I can hit it from there. No, not quite. Ha! Got it. Nailed it. There are some items that are just placed in levels and they're always there, but enemies have a random drop chance as well. So sometimes you'll end up getting the full med kit when you don't need it, repeatedly. And that's fine. I don't give a fuck. Now, I believe there's a secret bonus to be had somewhere around here. I believe it's in the next section where you see waterfalls. Also, try not to have a seizure from the waterfall. It does hurt a bit to stare directly at. Yeah, that waterfall there will just be a drop. If you want the health, you have to jump over it. But I don't If you don't pick it up, it remains there in case you die. I have no idea what anyone's talking about anymore. I looked away from the chat for too long. It's totally fine. You can't get that gas canister down there because you will fall to your death when you try and leap away from that bit. And if it wasn't already obvious, the special gun is what you collect those gas canisters for. Each one uses a different amount of it. I think the thunder gas uses 3 per shot. 2. And each gas canister you collect gives you more, but because I never really use it until the final boss of the game, it's not really necessary. And I believe there's a mouse robot waiting for me somewhere around here. Oh yes, you did not hear me wrong. There is un mouse robot. Nothing's cooler than that. How about fuck you? Don't know why I was so rude. Also, I have many lives, because I've only died once, and it was on that little bonus area we did earlier. So if I wasn't meant to go that way, and that's just a bonus, where was I meant to go? Down here? Yes! Here's the mouse robot. He's already dead. He was barely on the screen. Don't get too attached. He will be dead. He'll be dead before you can even ask him his name. There we go. And now Bushroot is a thing. Bushroot's pretty easy as bosses go. But of all of them, I think he does take the most hits, at least as far as I can remember. He commands a tree to throw something at you, and you shoot him many times, and he explodes, probably. If he was a robot, then maybe he would explode, but he is not one of those. Quite the opposite, really. And yeah, he has an irrational hatred for Darkwing. I don't really know why that is. Maybe it's because he foiled his very first scheme, just something to do with the girl he liked, who wouldn't be with him anymore once he was a plant person. Because seriously, who wants to fuck a vegetable? Don't answer that, actually. I don't want to know what you get up to. It's totally fine. I am really not concerned about how this is going. Not at all. It's a pretty good sprite for him, actually. Quite representative of him. There we go. Murdered him! See, look how fucking much I am crushing this shit. I intend to beat the game, if that wasn't already apparent. Oh, no! Oh, well, I made it weird. It's my fault. I am entirely to blame for this. Why, Lightning? Why? Okay, I have a lot of questions. 1, why? And 2, why did he tell you that? That's the kind of thing that if someone does it, they should keep it to themselves until they are dead. Yes, thank you, Onibushu. That's exactly what I wanted to know. Anyway, I do this level next, which is the Moriarty level. Get it? It's like Moriarty, except he's a mole. His whole deal was he lives underground and he doesn't like surface people and he wants to take over. He does manage it once, but then he gets defeated in a completely stupid way that I don't remember. This was when he was out with 3 of my mates. That makes it weirder! If he was doing it on his own time, on his own, then, you know, I don't approve, but whatever. But in company? Are you fucking serious? I do not want to know anymore. Do not tell me any more information. It's not something I want in my brain. Seriously. Fuck that shit. Ah, mice playing basketball. Figure that out. As they're enemies. Their basketballs are deadly. Their 3-point shot really is to be watched out for. They will score points and murder you at the same time. Don't ask me how that works. Also, in the show, Moriarty's minions were usually moles as well. I have no idea why he doesn't have a single mole enemy in his level. They're all mice. And then I think you see a couple of the turtles from the first level I did as well. Why wouldn't you go for the banana? Because it makes more sense. Does it, though? I think you're splitting hairs at that point. Ultimately, it's still a weird, disturbing thing that shouldn't be done by humans. Oh, God! I am disgusted. by what is happening in this conversation. No one should be doing that with any fruits or vegetables, okay? I don't care of the consistency. Or it's not something you should need to think ahead about. And make it an informed decision about. It should just be, I'm not going to do that with anything, ever. Ah, fuck. Jesus. Oh, God. What? Apparently they are nickering, yes. I'm going to have to respectfully ask that everyone pay attention to the duck-based platforming again. I think that was a lot more fun. And a lot less disturbing. What? Just, you know some odd people, right? You know some weird people. I don't think it's wrong of me to say that. I think we're all in agreement. Lightning Phoenix knows some weirdos. Okay? Okay. Glad we established that. Anyway, ducks! Ducks ascending platforms. They are ducks and they are accumulating many points and many one-ups. Also, there's only one duck. Only one duck that matters anyway. Okay, so this is one of those parts of the game where if you scroll the screen and then fall off the bottom, you still die, even though it makes no sense. Can we not even mention that place? That place is a fucking affront to humanity. It's like, really? Thousands of years of human civilization just for people to stick stuff up their arse? Fuck's sake. Oh, I'm angry now! So, that one up back there is actually impossible to get, as far as I can tell, because you scrolled it off the screen before such a point as you'd be able to reach it. Maybe there's a way to get it that I don't know about, but I don't find I care too much. I just don't think these conversations need to be had by people. It is all about a dog with a gun and a dapper hat. I cannot be the only person, by the way, who really, really wants to own a Darkwing Duck hat, and yet can't find one that looks right. Anyway, here's Moriarty as a boss. He has a death machine that shoots fireballs at you. He spends the entire boss fight fixing it when you break it. And I am probably going to die here. Because he also rams into you with relentless speed. And it's hard, you can't jump over him, at least on the top floor, because there isn't enough room. So you need to drop down. And try and keep one of the machines off at all times, so he never has a chance to do anything but repair them. Bit of a pisser, actually. Ah! You were drinking since midday. I mean, yeah, but that doesn't excuse your friends, who are apparently very weird. And I'm dead. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, I love his hat. But I've never been able to find one that looks right. The closest thing I've ever seen is just a fedora, but the problem with that is the brim is no way near wide enough. But the brim of Darkwing's hat is fucking massive. So yeah, I don't know. I always really liked his costume, actually. I don't know if I've mentioned that before. I think it looked really cool. If you put aside the fact he isn't wearing any trousers. But I mean, he's a cartoon duck, none of them do. Scrooge McDuck doesn't, Donald Duck doesn't, what the fuck do you want from me? Ah! Right, he throws hammers at you. That's the other thing that he does. I think if he's not repairing a machine, that's what he does. Shoots hammers! He's a hammer bro for sure. He's also dead. Yeah, great. So, basically human civilization has been fucked for many, many hundreds of years already. Good to know. It's not something I would wear in public, because I'd look like a pretentious twat. I'd just wear it for fun, occasionally. Anyway, here's the easiest of the 3 levels against the Megavolts, whose motivations are odd, to say the least. I can't remember most of them. I think him and Darkwing are supposed to have had some childhood experiences together, and Megavolt hates him, obviously. Who wouldn't? He was also voiced by Dan Castellaneta, who also voiced Earthworm Jim. Can you see why I watched good cartoons? Because they all had him in. But yeah, he basically just stole stuff and electrocuted things. And really liked electrical appliances. There's lots of deadly danger water in this stage. Darkwing can't swim, apparently, it would seem. I don't know if that was ever true. I don't intend to find out. It's quite an easy level, fortunately, hence why I do it last. Because, I was like, right, I've got the difficult ones out of the way. So now I can relax a bit. And do this one. It's totally fine. This guy kills himself. Don't think it's possible to avoid getting hit there, because if you ride the spinny wheel back over to the left and then back to the right, he respawns. So you're going to get hit either by him or the spikes on the scene. It's totally fine. Jesus Christ, in case. It's a bit grim all of a sudden. I mean, we all know who voiced Darkwing, right? Just to sort of vaguely steer the conversation relevant to that. Jim Cummings, who voices a lot of cartoon characters. He also did quite a lot of the other voices in the show, and indeed a lot of voices just in general. But yeah, he's pretty great. That extra life is a trap. If you get it, you'll immediately die trying to climb back out of the gap. So don't do it. Instead, kill genies. There's no explanation for why they're here. Or why they would be serving Mega Bomb in particular. I don't think there was ever an episode like that. As I said earlier, I think you have to kind of divorce the villains from the minions, because they're never the same. They're never accurate. Not even at the end, because during the course of the game, there's a couple of the foul soldiers, like the actual foul, rather than just random villains who happen to be working alongside them in this game. And they have that particular uniform where they have like a dome helmet with like a visor, and the suit is yellow. Not that you can tell that in Game Boy, of course. But yeah, there's a couple of them in the game, but they don't appear in the one level they should appear, where Steelbeak is the boss, i.e. the final level. Because they're his minions. So, whoever was doing their research for this game apparently didn't do it very well. Alright, so there's a nice full health power-up right before the boss. And here is Megavolt. He is a rat. He is filled with lightning and hate. He'll either shoot one right at you, or he'll shoot one up, which will then land on you. And don't walk on the floor, because there's a spark down there that's hard to avoid. Just keep swapping between the two platforms. And go ahead and shoot him in the face. He's very, very, very easy. Tricked into going to Sweden. Wait, you have a hat like that? And that's where you got it? Well, that's pretty neat. I'm gonna have to look into this now. She was fucking mental. Okay. Do share. What was mental? While you do, we finally located the hideout of Steelbeak, which is supposed to be one word, I think. He had a sort of gangster voice in the show. Very much a typical one in that respect. Also a snappy dresser and a chicken, as you would expect. No! No sports ball talk here! We are nerds and proud, and we will have no truck with sports. Anyway, this is the final level, the Flying Fortress. And the music's rather catchy, you know it's true. And there are moles who operate cannons. Why would there not be? They're not very intelligent, though. They don't fire with any degree of sense. So you see that one up back there? It's a tease. They're like, you want this one up? Then you're going to have to work for it. And you do this by walking over to the right. And then you climb up, and you can make your way across the area you've just seen. Because I want that sweet, sweet one up. 11 lives just isn't enough. I need 12. Welcome, Be-Through, to the Malice stream. Unfortunately, a little late because we are drawing to a close very soon. But I decided to play some more duck-based platforming after we did a bit of DuckTales earlier. So I'm playing through the Game Boy Darkwing Duck again because I love it and it's relatively easy to complete. Hence, I'm on the final level as we speak. Nevertheless, thank you for coming to the Malice stream. I hope you enjoy what remains of it, which is pretty much going to be this level and the ending of the game. One, I don't know how long it'll take. Probably not all that long at all. You know what I wouldn't give for a decent metal cover of this song? I would love that. I mean, I would like more metal covers of songs in this game in general, but this one in particular. For obvious reasons. Because it is really good. Ah, fuck! That's what you get for not paying attention, James. Holy shit! She wanted his D, and he didn't want to give it to her because she was being a bitch to him. Huh. That's a weird way round for it to be. In any case, let's run away from our problems and try not to explode. Oh, mouse robots! Oh, shit! To be honest, he's more of a mouse knight than a mouse robot, what with the sword and shield and all. Okay. Yeah, you were right. She was mental. Ah, fuck! See, I needed that one up. So now I've got my full complement of 11 lives to try again. Don't tell me that should not have happened. Because you're wrong, so very wrong indeed, and you know it's true. Don't deny the simple truth of your life. This conversation went off the rails fucking ages ago. That's why I keep trying to bring it screaming and kicking back to duck-based platforming. So what's cool about the cape block is A, you can block giant-ass cannonballs that are about as big as you. And second, while you're doing the block, as long as the attack comes from the front of you, it'll still be blocked even if it hits you in the head. Which is what was happening back there. Power through. I'm trying. Oh, unless you were talking about something else. Oh, no. No, you do not power through that situation. Ever. Don't listen to anyone who says you're not a real man until you've got blood on your sword. That is not a true. It is just not. You've never heard that expression in your life until now. And now you wish you hadn't. I'll bet. May I die if I try that shit again. Just let the mouse knight jump. Fuck! It is totally fine. I've still got 10 more lives. If you think I'll need all of them, then you would be wrong again, just like a gong. Gongs are wrong 98% of the time. Ask their opinion on important matters, all they'll tell you is gong. It is okay. Is that a thing people say? It's a thing that I've heard said. I don't remember when or where or how or why. But yes, I have heard that expression before. Yeah, I don't think you should. I don't think that would end well for anyone, Jay. Especially not the recipients. For starters, he's a mouse and therefore probably swimming with diseases. Alright, this time I'm going to have my wits about me. And not die if I can avoid it. Which I probably can't, let's be honest. So yeah, let's let the mouse knight fall to his death, which is what I was trying to say before. Have him immediately respawn, because of course, it's totally fine, and you don't care all that much, and neither do I. So long as he ends up dead. Sponsor everyone you can to support that little mouse knight to fuck. No, let's not. That would just be weird. Oh, fucking Jesus. Dogs in barrels, my #1 foe. Anyway, here's the Duck Terminator. He starts out just shooting fireballs that you can't block with your cape at you. Then he catches fire and turns into a robot. And you just ignore him because there's literally no reason to kill him. And it's actually quite tricky to do in that position. This one, though, you kind of have to kill. But I strongly recommend not doing so. Because if you kill him now, his head comes off and starts hopping around like fucking crazy. And it becomes really hard to avoid. And he just respawns anyway, so fuck him. Just gonna bravely run away. This one, of course, will kill himself as well. Once he burns, he'll just walk right off the ledge and die for you. What a friendly guy. How accommodating can he be? Very accommodating indeed, it seems. Don't you know it? Don't you know it's true? This one you have to kill, pretty much. Luckily, they only take 1 or 2 hits once they're in head form. What are you talking about? How could you possibly ruin the chat? The chat can never be ruined. I think it started out that way. I need duck-based stories. There might be. You'd have to ask him, wouldn't you? The only duck-based stories I have, of course, are about feeding them when I was a young'un because it was fun. Not that you're technically supposed to do that anymore. Ah, do you know what? Just fucking damage boost through him. I'm not killing him again and risking taking even more damage. If you think I'm gonna put up with that shit, then you're wrong. Oh, so very wrong. Yeah, this one's a bit awkward. You can only get 2 hits in at a time, and you have to keep jumping up on the ledge to avoid his shots. But yeah, then he obligingly kills himself. Your sister had a duckling. That's actually kind of awesome. A duck always seems to me like one of those animals that would be cool to have as a pet, but is probably like a huge amount of hassle. And probably isn't one that's appropriate to have as a pet. But it would be kind of rad. You had shredded duck in pancakes last night. Lovely. It's the ducks I feel sorry for. But the real question, Jay, is were they soaking in the hoisin of your lies? Because that's all that really matters. So that guy there, you only need to kill if you want the health power-up that's behind him. And I don't need it, so fuck him. Shut up, all of you. No one gets to comment on that. It didn't really happen. That life was imaginary. Shut up. There you go, and I got it back. It's like it never happened. Oh, go ahead and fuck that shit. I'm not interested in your prolonged existence, Mr. Robots. Put it into the big pool and it drowned. Oh, what? No! Why did the duck story have to have a sad end? Man, now I'm just upset. Ducks are awesome. Like, okay, well, not really a story, but like, I have a couple of favourite animals. Penguins is 1, frogs is 2, and ducks is 3. So that makes me very sad to hear. Ducks are cool, alright? They make an adorable noise and they kind of waddle around. They're great. I love them. So shut up. And I'm sure my upbringing watching cartoons like Darkwing Duck and DuckTales had absolutely no bearing on that. Okay, so what we need to do here is get this one into robot form and then jump over him as he walks forward. Or just damage boost. That works too. Fucking whatever. Yes, we discussed that once before, I think, Phoenix. It's not the kind of thing you want to think about. I prefer to just think of them as fluffy, awesome animals that make cool noises. I try not to think about anything beyond that. Really do not want to know. So as far as I'm concerned, most animals just don't have that whole aspect of anatomy. I'm not interested in it, therefore it doesn't exist. Super garble, let us all be focused on the duck platforming. And coming up on the final boss, it's gonna get exciting. Don't you know? Any story behind Penguin for no one? Not really, I just think they're awesome. Like with ducks and frogs, I just think they're cool. Alright, so we gotta do this right. No! Fuck you! Oh, okay, you know what? Now I have to kill him! Now that has to happen. Enjoy your death, fuckwit. Alright, and then we just want to carefully drop. And here is the final boss. The easy way to defeat this final boss is to use the thunder gas. Because then you can just hit him from down here. And then the second phase more or less the same. The man way to do it, of course, is to use the standard gun like I like to do in Mega Man games. And still win because this boss is not difficult. I'd be reasonably confident about not even getting hit doing this. See, all you gotta do is that, let him throw the shield at you and then shoot him a couple of times. Also, he really does not look representative of his in cartoon form here. Because in the cartoon, he wears a smart suit. But here, it looks like he's wearing a fucking old man jumper. I guess I can kind of see the suit to it, but when he's moving around quite fast and you don't really get a chance to look at each individual frame with that background there, it looks like an old man jumper. In any case, I'm gonna kill you. So the gimmick would be you use thunder gas while hanging from here, and you can hit him, but he can't hit you. Even when he's got the shield up, the thunder gas will still hit him from behind. So yeah. But it's really fucking easy, and I'm gonna kill his ass. Take him to prison. Duck prison. But yeah, I mean, it's slightly less boring to not use the Thunder Gas. Because it actually requires a little bit of jump timing to get the hits in, and there he goes. Beat the game. That was easy, wasn't it? You followed my plans this time. I can't do a gangster accent, or I would. Darkwing. But the next time we meet, I shall be victorious. Here's another little story about how Young and Malice perceived the world and game graphics. If you have a look at the image of Steelbeak there, and you can clearly see... I'll tell you what, I'll use my mouse cursor. You can clearly see that here's his beak, right here, the Steelbeak that he gets his name from. And this is the kind of chicken chin thing, right? But when I was young, I couldn't really see that properly. So I thought he was kind of just like a fat guy, and the under-chin chickeny thing was his mouth kind of half open. And this was just like an upper lip, and I didn't really register that it was supposed to be a beak. So he had this kind of thing going on. Like, if these were teeth, right, these two segments right here, they were teeth. It's kind of hard to see it now, because I know what it's meant to look like, but yeah. So there you go. I don't think when I was playing the game I remembered the cartoon very well, because I'd only ever seen it when it was just broadcast, rather than having it like on video or something. So my memory of it was limited. So yeah, that's just one of those things. Job well done, Darkwing. Once again, you freed the city from FOWL's grip of terror. You have earned the gratitude of the entire city forever, or at least until the next time you do a stupid. Which is not going to take long at all. It is awesome to ride a motorbike along a road. It looks badass, you know it is true. Wouldn't it really be a shame to have an accident? And then he died, that was the end. He fucking actually flew into the moon and died. Hang on a sec. There's just something I want to do before the end of this. Daring duck of mystery, champion of right, swoops out of the shadows, Darkwing owns the night. Somewhere some villain schemes, but his number's up. 3, 2, 1. Darkwing Duck. When there's trouble, you call DW. Darkwing Duck. Let's get dangerous. Darkwing Duck. Darkwing, Darkwing Duck. Cloud of smoke and he appears, the master of surprise. Who's that cunning mind behind the shadowy disguise? Nobody knows for sure, but bad guys are out of luck, 'cause here comes Darkwing Duck. When there's trouble, you call DW. Darkwing Duck. Let's get dangerous. Darkwing Duck. Better watch out, you bad boys. Darkwing Duck. Well, that was fun.